morning, ma'am. Good morning, people of the Philippines. This is my output for the finals on Philippine Administrative Thoughts, a term paper to be submitted to Mrs. Grace Bernes. Moving on to the introduction, data breach. In the 21st century, governments worldwide have undergone a transformative journey marked by the pervasive rise of technology. This digital revolution has fundamentally altered the landscape of governance, influencing policymaking, public services, and citizen engagement. From e-government initiatives, governments are harnessing technology to enhance efficiency, transparency, and responsiveness. The adoption of digital platforms facilitates seamless communication between citizens and authorities, while data analytics and machine learning empower informed decision making. Yet, as technology continues to evolve, governments grapple with challenges such as cybersecurity and ethical considerations. So, what does this mean? Meron pong pros and cons ang pag-emerge ng technology. It eases our lives and daily tasks. And predators exploit this through cyber hacking or cyber attacks which causes harm. Mas mabilis ang pag-evolve ng technology kaysa sa cyber security. Kasi mas maluwag ang access. Mas mabilis rin ang intrusion ng masasamang tao. So, ayan po ang ibig sabihin yan. There was this case on April last year that there was a massive data breach that occurred to critical government institutions. It exposed personal and sensitive information of the officials, officers, and employees of government enforcement agencies such as the Philippine National Police, National Bureau of Investigation, Bureau of Internal Revenue, and Special Action Force. So, hindi lang po siya nag-post ng risk sa mga government employee, pati rin po sa mga assets or mga documents na sa loob ng mga critical government institutions na to. Kasi andyan po yung mga police record, ganon, mga yun, NBI clearance, and everything na nasa loob po niyan. According to a report released by a cybersecurity research firm, VPN Mentor, an unprecedented data breach has compromised an outstanding 1,279,437 law enforcement agency records, including private employee information. Exposed records encompass highly sensitive data such as fingerprint scans, birth certificates, tax identification numbers, tax filing records, academic transcripts, and even passport copies. Even the internal directors and high-ranking officials were exposed due to the data breach. Not only their information was exposed but also the government agency documents and memos containing the ordinances and delegations. So, gaano po ba kalala yan? Ah, ito pong mga sensitive data na to, lalo na po yung fingerprint scans tsaka yung tin ID nila, tin number. Pwede po yan gamitin sa pang-scam. Lalo na ano po yan, related po yan sa mga banking accounts, ganun, bank accounts. So, pwedeng isang la ATM mo nang hindi mo nalalaman, lalo na kung government employee ka tapos na-expose yung ano mo, yung record mo, sensitive data. Kasi meron kang birth certificate, may valid ID na na-expose sa'yo. So, passport mo pa. So, ganun po kadelikado at kalala yung mga cyber attacks na nangyayari recently. Hacking in government agencies poses a profound challenge to cybersecurity and national security. So, syempre, hindi lang po cybersecurity yung nalalagay sa peligro. Syempre, pag expose na yung gobyerno natin sa mga cyber attacks, mas lalo po yung estado natin, di ba? As hackers cloak their identities through sophisticated techniques like VPNs and proxy servers, tracing their origins becomes tough. These activities undermines trust in governmental systems, jeopardizes sensitive data, and compromises public safety. So, syempre po, kung yung gobyerno nga nahirapan silang protektahan yung sarili nila, paano pa kaya tayo, 'di ba? So, by implementing stringent cybersecurity measures, governments can mitigate risk and ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data. Strengthening cybersecurity not only protects citizens' privacy but also upholds credibility and functionality of government services, reinforcing public confidence in digital governance. So, sinabi ko nga po kanina na kung hindi maprotektahan ng gobyerno ang sarili nila sa mga ganitong cyber attacks, paano pa kaya yung mga data natin na pinapasa natin sa kanila? Lalo na yung mga nagre-register online. Lahat ng data ay na-upload dyan. Depende, lalo na sa COMELEC, yung mga napaka-sensitive niyan and napakahalagang information. Kaya may mga nagiging ano siya, prime targets ng mga kawatan. So ayan, pati yung mga birth certificates, yan, pati sa police clearance, ganun. Mga prime targets yan ng mga masasamang loob. The bitter facts. Experts have long warned about the Philippines' vulnerability to cyber threats due to a lack of adequate cybersecurity infrastructure, yet it's less prioritized of the government. Exposed government documents were stored in an unsecured, non-password protected database, readily accessible to individuals with an internet connection, and very vulnerable to cyber attacks or ransomware. So, ayun nga. So, mas mabilis yung mas madali access natin sa internet, mas malakas din yung tsansa ng mga masasamang loob na makapang hack or makapang loko, ganun. So, ayan. Despite the data breach, no attacks were reported in this incident. So, yung tinutukoy po dito yung case na nabanggit sa report yung last year. So, ayan. Despite the data breach, no attacks were reported in this incident or yet to be reported. So, hindi porke walang nag-report, ibig sabihin, absuelto na. Imagine, 1,000,000 yun, no? Yung records na na-expose. So, imagine mo kung lahat yun ay nagamit sa masasamang paraan. Yan. Total size of the exposed database is 817 GB. So, imagine mo, isang document hindi pa ata aabot ng 20 MB. Kunyari, gagawa ka ng PowerPoint. Include mo na lahat doon. Tapos i-compress mo pa para lumiit yung size. So, para tipid sa size, ganun. Tapos, ito umabot ng 817 GB. So, grabe, gano'ng kadami yun. Sa isang tao, hindi lang isang document yung makukuha mo. Halo-halo yan. Yung ID niya, yung police clearance, birth certificate, lahat ng pinasa niya sa gobyerno may expose. So ayan, total number of records exposed, ayun nga yung kanina, 1,279,437. So akala nyo parang maliit lang na, pero ang dami niya. Grabe, ganyan ka vulnerable yung ano natin, cyber security. Last year lang yan. So imagine, nasaan na kaya tayo ngayon? So in conclusion, the merging of government and technology represents a profound paradigm shift in governance, transforming traditional bureaucratic structures into agile, data-driven entities. Initiatives such as e-government platforms, digital identity systems, and open data initiatives, empower citizens with greater access to information and services while promoting transparency and accountability. So, ayan po yung sinasabi dito yung essence ng integration ng ICT sa public service kasi mas napapalapit nito yung service nito sa tao, ganun. Tsaka napopromote din niya yung transparency kasi mas readily accessible sa mga tao yung mga services. Tsaka nababawasan yung bureaucracy kasi syempre hindi ka na pupunta ng mga opisina para lakarin yung ganito, tuturo ko sa ganito, kuha ko muna ng permit, ganun, ganun. Hanggang sa nakakapagod ng maglakad ng mga government documents. Totoo po yan. Kaya meron tayong mga e-government initiatives. Para dyan po yan. The integration of technology and public service requires a robust cybersecurity in government websites, as it is vital for safeguarding sensitive data, maintaining public trust, and protecting national security. So, ayan nga, intertwined yung cybersecurity natin sa national security. Siyempre, pag na-expose yung mga secret documents natin, mga confidential documents, lalo na sa military, at nalik yan sa ibang bansa, ang dali-daling natin lusubin. Ganun po ang mangyayari. So, yan, these platforms serve as gateways to essential services, citizen information, and critical infrastructure, making them prime targets for malicious actors. Ayun nga, nabanggit ko kanina. The government ought to keep that information safe. A breach in cybersecurity could lead to devastating consequences, including identity theft, financial loss, and compromise of classified information. So, ang proposal po, enhancing cybersecurity on government websites is paramount to safeguarding sensitive data, ensuring public trust, and protecting national security. So, yun nga, pag naprotektahan natin yung nabigyan natin ng kahalagahan yung cybersecurity natin, mas magiging secure tayo ngayon lalo na sa modern era natin. So, ayan, with enough budget, our government can employ strategies such as encryption protocols, detection systems, and regular security audits to fortify their online platforms against cyber threats. Implementing robust access controls, multi-factor authentication, and continuous monitoring mechanisms bolster defense against unauthorized access and data breaches. So yun nga, kung committed lang yung gobyerno natin sa cybersecurity, wala tayong ipag-aalala. Ayun po. Reinforcing the penalties also for the perpetrators regarding cyber hacking and attacks would help if implemented effectively. So, syempre, kapag may mga salarin tayo, dapat parusahan natin talaga yung kasi nalalagay sa risk yung cybersecurity natin and national security. So, ayan po. Halos tantamad din siya sa treachery somewhat. Kasi yun nga, in-expose nila yung mga sensitive data ng nasa loob ng isang government institution without consent. So, labag din yun sa Data Privacy Act. Ang dami nilalabag ng cyber hacking. Additionally, collaboration with cybersecurity experts, public-private partnerships, and adherence to international standards enhance the resilience of government websites. By prioritizing cybersecurity, governments mitigate risks, uphold confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data, and reinforce public confidence in their digital services. So, ayun nga, nabanggit ko rin niya kanina. Thus ensuring the secure and unimplemented delivery of essential services to citizens. So, ayun nga po yung isa pa sa mga tips para or proposal para maiwasan yung mga cyber attacks, ma-prevent o mas mapatibay yung cyber security natin is yung collaboration sa mga private entities. Kasi po, merong mga private entities na nakapokus sa pagpapatibay ng cybersecurity like yung mga ITs, ganyan. Tsaka yung pagsunod po sa standard ng cybersecurity measures ng buong mundo. Yeah, mahalaga po yan. So yun po yung mga references po na ginamit ko sa report na to. Ayan po nasa baba. Diyan ko po kinuha yung mga idea ng presentation na to. Maraming salamat po sa pakikinig. Sa susunod po ulit. Thank you, Mama.